Hi everyone, David Theriault here. I'm a teacher, English teacher at Mountain Valley High School. I'm also the English Language Arts facilitator for the Huntington Beach Unified High School District. And I'm here to talk to you about what worked Wednesdays. And I'm hoping to make this a regular thing every single Wednesday. Since I can't go to schools and teachers can't visit me, this is my way to share what worked for me and what worked for other teachers. You can share things to me via email or any other way. If you could share them with me, that'd be really great. I'd really appreciate it. Um, they can be simple ideas, they could be videos, they could be links, a specific poem, an essay, or anything else like that. What I'm going to talk to you today is about a little piece of technology that worked for me. There's been other things that have worked for me, like I've been using an embedded slide as my agenda. That's an idea I originally got from Lauren Bielefeld years ago, and that's really working for me in distance learning. And then my coworker, Elise Hamilton, she gave me this idea of having students present via Flipgrid. So instead of being live in the Zoom and presenting right there and being all nervous, they can just take their time, do their presentation via screen share on Flipgrid, and then I could just go to the Flipgrids and play them for the whole class to watch. And that's also worked out really well. What I want to share with you today is doing breakout rooms via Google Slides. So let me go ahead and hit present and show you what's working for me. Okay. So here's the problem for me. Is that in Zoom, like I'm still getting comfortable with the Zoom. I didn't use Zoom in the spring, and I'm still getting really comfortable, and I'm not ready yet to tackle breakout rooms in Zoom yet. It seems like there's a lot of things that I'm going to have to think about, and I'm a little nervous about doing it, but I do want to have my students get together and talk. And so I was trying to think of how can I get my students together so they can work without using a Zoom breakout room. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to use Google Slides. And so here's what I did. So last week, the second week of school, sorry, it's all blending in together. I had my students create a slide where they shared four things they kind of like, and like a food they love, a TV show, an activity, and music. And then they posted it in Canvas as a discussion item so that everybody in the class could see them. All right, so this part was already done. Then what I did is I created an assignment today where I left some instructions of what exactly it is that they're going to do, and I'm going to go over those instructions with you via SlideShare. So what I did is I made a Google slide deck for each one of my classes. I made sure to set the share setting to anybody with the link can edit, so all of my students can edit the slide. I made enough slides so that there was a blank slide for every single one of the groups. So I made 9 groups, and then I made a sample of what it is that I wanted them to do, so then the students could look at the sample and see. So for example, what I want all of them to go into the discussion, find some people who have some shared interest, and create a team or fan club. So I created Team Taco. And in my Team Taco is Mr. Zebarth, Mr. Long, and Mr. Smith. Okay. And in the Team Taco, what I want them to do, and they're going to put this here in this main slide deck with all the other students, and they're going to call themselves a name, like a team or fan club, and they're going to put their 4 names right here to kind of claim this working space. And then they're going to create one of them, then we'll create a new slide, invite all their team to that slide to work. Then they're going to highlight the name of this and make sure that anybody with this link can view. And that way I can check in on the group virtually while they're all working. So by being able to click on this link, I could check on every single group. And this is what I wanted them to do. I wanted them to take an image about the thing that they're a fan of and show how the different parts of the image, like this is basically a metaphor, how each part of the object or thing if it's anime or whatever, like let's say it's Avatar, how each character in Avatar is like them. So for me, like Sean Zebarth, he's his enthusiasm holds us together like a taco shell, and he's also loud and crunchy, like when you crunch into it. And I'm very cheesy, like dad jokes a lot. Mr. Long is very healthy. He's like an avocado, and he's also very wholesome and good for you. And then our friend Greg, he's like the wild sauce or whatever. Okay. So this is what I want them to make. So it was awesome. Once I explained it all to the students, I had them going. I was really worried, like, it's not a classroom. So how can you have students get into groups when there's not a classroom going on? But they found a way. Like they used the Zoom chat, they used the Canvas chat feature. They were, I'll show you in a second, but they were literally typing on these slides to help each other find groups. Like this student right here, Fat, he said, you can choose what you want and I'll fill in. Like he was being really helpful. Like anybody can be in any group and I'll just fill in and make any group. Like I'm here for you. So it was really neat. And they were all like all of my students were in this slide deck together. They were all picking things together and getting into groups and making a slide and inviting each other. Here's another one. Like there was a student who literally couldn't figure out like how to get into the groups slide. And they were like, click the hyperlink. And then the student was like, what's a hyperlink? And so the student typed like, oh, this is the hyperlink right here, right? And so they were just doing anything they could. That was one of my favorite parts, was watching students help each other be successful. It was really cool. And then the other neat thing is when you click on this little link, you get a preview. So you don't even have to go to the slide. You can click preview and you can click on it and see what's going on, which is really neat. And then I had asked all of them when they made their like main slide that they were working on to make an extra slide where they could have a conversation. So there was actually like a chat slide right here. And then they could talk back and forth inside of the slide while they were working on this main slide, and I could see it through the preview. I could see their conversation and see if I needed to jump in and help out with anything. And then, and as you can see, like it was really cool. Like I literally got to know something about every one of my students because they were comparing themselves to something. Like the student was, spicy tuna or whatever. But the other cool thing is students, they came up with some really clever stuff. Like this group right here, they compared themselves to parts of the dog because they were like team dog. And they were explaining how they were like a pancreas and a humerus and a sternum and a spine. And oh my goodness, like any anatomy teacher would have been so proud of them for making these connections. Like it was really cool watching. So you can do breakout rooms with students where they're working on slides together. You just make the one big slide where they're going to figure out what the groups are, and then they're going to link to their individual working slides, but you can go in and check on them when they link back to it. Okay. If you have any questions at all about this, you can call me, you can email me, Zoom me or whatever, hit me up and I can walk you through it. I'm here for all of you. I care about all of you. I hope you're doing okay. This has definitely been a challenge for me, and I've talked to other people. This has been a challenge for us. But we're just going to keep moving forward and try and do the best we can for ourselves, for our students, and for everybody else. Thank you very much. See you next Wednesday. Bye.